The playing field is now level again. And young ladies are celebrating with Donald Trump as he signs the executive order. Let's check this out. Sounds wholesome.
Oh, it was so touching, this moment in the East Room of the White House yesterday. President Trump signing that executive order banning biological men from women's sports. And there were young female athletes on all sides.
You know, if you'd like to gather around, I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Secret Service is worried about them. We have to worry about them. We have big problems.
Maybe in certain other countries.
Okay, you want to have a tune? You want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? You ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that.
When H was running things over in Germany, didn't he have the kids telling on parents and stuff like that? Getting them in school, teaching them in school, telling their parents?
I want to make this a really good signature. This is a big one, right? Sit down, please. Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
Aww. The playing field is now level. The playing field is now level again.
Okay? Now you're going to go out and win those events, right? Nice to see you all.
So you get this new law.
I think they should go around the entire country and award all the young ladies that lost to trans women. I think they should reward them with whatever it is that they lost. Like, there needs to be an asterisk in the books. And if they were supposed to get a medal, they got second, they should get that gold. If they were supposed to get some prize money, they get the difference. That's what I think. I think they should, if you want to keep it in the record books, fine. But there's an asterisk, and if there's any scholarships that they missed out on, they should get those scholarships. Yeah. I don't think they should, if they already awarded the trans athletes their stuff, okay, let them have it. They got it in the time when a different regime was running things. However, I think that a lot of women did not get what they deserved. A lot of women were counting on certain scholarships and placing in certain things, and it didn't happen because of all the haywireness that was going on. So I think that they should, yeah.
And a presidential pep talk. Go win.
That moment was incredible. And I just want to underscore that the sweet young age of all of those girls, that's the age that currently there are state protections in place from places like California that at that age making decisions to biologically butcher themselves permanently. And you look at those sweet young girls whose futures will now be protected thanks to this president, their scholarships preserved, their options preserved open because they won't be invaded by biological males. And when we talk about representing the people, the New York Times, the liberal New York Times, conducted a poll where 79% of the recipients said that they are not in favor of biological males in women's sports, 67% of whom identified as Democrats. To your point earlier, when do that amount of people agree on anything?
Yes, exactly.
And that right there is the manifestation of that agreement. That is representing the mandate of the American people put forth on November 5th.
So right before this happened in the East Room of the White House, Senator Tommy Tuberville of the great state of Alabama was on the Senate floor, and he was fighting for the bill that would make this permanent, because he says in 2 years, when, those midterm elections happen, or if in 4 years you have a Democrat president, they will easily flip this back, and he's trying to
I was
indemnify
going to say something
this
about
against that.
As well he should, as well as Congress should, for sure. And watching that press conference, it was really heartwarming. It's astonishing to me that we got to the point that we did on this issue. Thinking back on it, why mothers across the country didn't rush DC and try to change it. The fact that this happened.
Yeah, I think that, all the trans athletes, everything that they won, they get to keep. If it was a scholarship, it was a medal, it was prize money, they get to keep it. But it's kind of like when you have an advantage, like in the Olympics, sometimes with races, there is a wind advantage. So there's an asterisk there. They let you know this record was set with wind, with a wind speed of this and that, because it pushed the athlete faster than, like, there's a old controversy with the FloJo one, because a lot of people think that she won that normally, but there's a discrepancy about that day. There was something with the wind, and like no woman has been able to really come close to that record, and a lot of people believe it'll never be beaten because they took it as legitimate, but there should have been an asterisk for the wind when she broke that record that year. So I think there's an asterisk there, okay? If you were not born a woman, you have an advantage. So there's asterisks there, and I think all the women that missed out on scholarships, prize money, all that, I think that they should be compensated in the books and everything. Post the comments down below. Oh, it's not done. I thought it was done.
The president has now put in place probably the most important decision for young women that will happen in years.
You know, it's so interesting, too, because we thought that about Title IX, and this was dismantling Title IX.
Right.
Martina Navratilova, tennis legend, posted this on her X. I hate that Democrats totally failed women and girls on this very clear issue.
And I know some of y'all probably like, nah, take it from the trans athlete. They didn't listen. They competed. These people said it was okay for them to compete. I ain't gonna really throw it on them. They said it was okay. The law said it was okay. The president said it was okay. They let them do that. I wouldn't strip them, but compensation needs to be given to all the young ladies, all the young athletes that did not get the placings that they needed to get to here, from move from A to B. All that needs to be fixed and vindicated for all of them.
Of women's sports being for females only. Kennedy.
Well, it's interesting because, you know, this has really divided feminists, and there were traditional feminists who have been outraged, and they have been tarred as bigots now because they're trying to stand up for basic women's rights, something that they have fought for their entire lives. You know, Martina Navratilova, when she started playing tennis, there was not equality, there was not funding, and they had to fight so hard for that. And now,
What happened, Kennedy?
young women, the world has gotten turned on its head. And all the virtue signalers went along with it because they didn't want to be on the wrong side of groupthink, but the group lost its mind. And, you know, shame on the states and the mayors and the governing bodies and all the various sports that didn't stand up for this in the first place and do what was right for the sake of young women everywhere.
But the people who did stand up, people like we've been talking about, of course, we have Riley Gaines on. J.K. Rowling is another one who stood up. She had an ex-post. Congratulations to every single person on the left who's been campaigning to destroy women's and girls' rights. Without you, there'd be no images like the one we're looking at on the television right now. I mean, the bottom line is that those people who stood up changed the 50-50 position that most Americans had on the issue to the 79% who now favor what President Trump just did. Those people deserve gold medals because they stood up against the crowd. They lost a lot of friends. They lost a lot of relatives who don't speak to them anymore. But they continue to stand their ground, and they proved to be right. And the American people are following them.
Speaking of gold medal, when we host the Olympics in Los Angeles, you know, President Trump addressed that and was like, this law is going to apply then too. Take note, guys.
Wow.
There it is. There it is. So, I know there's a lot of young ladies around the world celebrating now because they know things ain't going to be snatched from them so easily no more. It's level playing field, back again. We'll see what happens again in 4 years, though. 10 million subscribers. Woo! Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. I know this one's a controversial